debate of Molly, Sophie, Peter, and Maya. They'll be debating on aliens exist. Molly will go first.
Yeah.
Are we truly alone? It's now estimated that for every grain of sand on the planet Earth, there is another Earth-like planet capable of sustaining life. So, can we truly be alone? Humans seem to think that aliens are a supernatural being that comes to eat us. There are many movies that prove this, such as Men in Black 1, 2, 3, Independence Day 1 and 2, Aliens 1, 2, and 3, and many others. Now, in this day, there's so much evidence that we are not the only planet capable of sustaining life that it's overwhelming. For example, the Roswell incident. July 8, 1947, the Army Air Force announced that a flying disc had been found and was now in the possession of the Army. It was sent to Wright Field, Ohio for further investigation. Closely following this incident, one of J. Edgar Hoover's FBI field agents went to New Mexico. There were 3 flying saucers that had been discovered. Each one was occupied with 3 bodies of human shape, but only 3 feet tall, dressing in metallic floss of a very fine texture. And the bodies were bandaged in a manner similar to the blackout suits used by speed flyers and test pilots. Even the president at the time had something to say. I can assure you that flying saucers, given that they exist, are not constructed by any power on Earth, said President Harry S. Truman. The U.S. ended the public investigation in 1969 when they assured the public that there wasn't a threat. Notice how they didn't deny that they existed. But then, when man landed on the moon, Neil Armstrong and his astronauts found a base on the backside of the moon. They said that there were tall towers and circular things that looked like radar dishes. It wasn't our base, so whose was it? 17 years later, on November 18, 1986, a Japanese pilot was flying through Alaskan territory and his radar picked up a target. He then saw the target with his eye, and the way he described it, it was a huge ball with lights running around it, 4 times as big as the plane he was in. And hey, I may sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, but I'm not. And this is just a small portion of the information that we have on extraterrestrials. Who knows where they are, where they live, or who they are. Thank you.
My opinion is that aliens don't exist, and I don't believe they've ever visited our planet Earth either. No one has ever proven their existence with pictures or videos. There is no actual proof that aliens exist on other planets in our solar system either. If they do exist, they would have to adapt to freezing temperatures or scorching ones, and maybe even gassy planets too. The red planet, Mars, has lots of pools of frozen water on its surfaces. It also has lots of hills and mountains. That doesn't mean there's any life. It means there's a slim possibility of it, but none to be found to this day and age. A researcher at the Institute of Technology in California has been researching with high-tech equipment which have gone to Mars, despite all the controversial sayings like, there is people like us. I know it, not in our Milky Way, but in other galaxies. Well, they might exist, but how will we know? It takes 8 years to fly to Neptune, and to find the next planet not in our solar system, we'd have to go out of our Milky Way, out of our galaxy, go back into another Milky Way, and that would take at least 10 times further. Does a researcher really want to wait that long for a test result? Anyway, I believe we are the most unique planet in our solar system, and maybe even in the whole universe, because we are the only planet that can support a human's life to this day. Getting back to the tests in California, none of the results have turned positive, that there's any little bit of DNA on the planet Mars. Now, let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is a huge gassy planet. In that gigantic planet, there's a humongous storm. That storm is so big, almost 3 planet Earths could fit inside of it. It started in the year of 1665, but to be more precise, that's 352 years ago. Well, now you might be asking, what about Jupiter? Is there any living bit on Jupiter? That depends what we're talking about. Is it life-size people like us, or simply DNA particles of past plants and animals who've once lived there? I believe it would be hard for any animal, plant, or human to live on Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, Uranus, and Neptune because there's simply no air. It's either too hot that it would burn off the last layer of your body. It's too cold that you could barely survive. Well, you might be thinking, unless there is another being that could survive with all of that. That would lead me to believe, do they have blood? How about bones or even lungs? I can tell you that's nuts. There's nothing that could live like that.
Okay, first, when we say aliens, we're not talking about E.T. or any aliens from any other movies. And I am not a conspiracy theorist. Has anyone here been to a place, say, in the mountains or in the country far away from the city, where at night you can just see billions of stars? Yeah, all of that is just the Milky Way. And the Milky Way is a tiny corner of a tiny corner of a tiny corner of a tiny corner, and so on, of the universe. And as Molly said, there are many planets fit for life. But also, who says aliens need the same conditions we do? Yes, they might not need the same conditions we do. They might be able to survive in completely different environments. They might be in a galaxy far, far away. Yes, there is a lot of fake proof that aliens exist, but there are some solid facts. There are things that are called radio telescopes. They're like telescopes for sounds. They are listening for potential alien communications. Ohio State University's Big Ear Observatory is famous for the discovery of the WOW signal. On August 15, 1977, a sound was discovered never heard before and was confirmed to be not made by humans. It was apparently so impressive that the astronomer there circled it and wrote WOW. Still, no one knows what it is. Some say that it is an attempt for aliens to contact us. Another one is Stephen Hawking's Breakthrough Listen project. The Breakthrough Listen project detected 15 bursts of radio emissions from a galaxy 3 billion light years away. They say that bursts from this source had never been seen at this high of a frequency, and that may be caused by alien spacecraft, but still, no one knows. These radio emissions left their home galaxy long before multicellular life existed on Earth. Which brings me to another point. Aliens might have existed long before we did. My opponent probably thinks, why haven't we found them yet? And I have an answer. First off, like I said before, the universe is so immense, humans just can't imagine it. They could be in a galaxy far away, or maybe alien galaxies are smaller than atoms, or maybe we can't detect them with our tools. There are many reasons that we haven't found them. They might just even not want to be found, considering that whenever we find something new, we either start war or tend to destroy it. Thank you.
If aliens exist, why haven't we found any? Our space agencies here on Earth are amazing, so why haven't they found any alien life? It's because aliens don't exist. Who here has ever saw an alien? Okay, if you did, you are a conspiracy theorist, and you have. There are some crazy people who claim they saw an alien or a UFO, but that's just not true. No space agency has ever confirmed that there was an alien. And there's zero evidence that they do exist. So just claiming they do is outright crazy. And aliens don't exist. Yeah, that's it.
Now the debaters will debate amongst themselves.
So Peter, you say that there is no proof that aliens exist. There is actually a lot of proof that they do exist.
And what might that be?
All the stuff
All
that I
the stuff
listed
we
during.
just said. And Peter, you also said that if they exist, why haven't they shown themselves? Well, there is no evidence that but there's a lot of evidence that they're worried about our hostility. All of the events that I listed happen near a nuclear weapon.
Also, like I said before, the universe is so immense we can't imagine it. It could be anywhere. Also, they might be smaller than atoms. Who knows? They could be anywhere.
There's actually
How could we prove that if they're smaller than atoms?
How can we prove that
How
they
can
don't
we
exist?
prove that they
There's
don't
a study that says that humans were probably the first life ever in the universe, and that aliens might come, but in 1 trillion years.
Yeah, but that was made by humans.
So is all the other studies.
Yeah, but what if aliens do studies on us?
Yeah.
You never know.
You never
Yeah,
know.
but you don't know if they did.
Aliens
You don't know
could
if
be
they
more
did it.
advanced in tech than we are, so
Yeah.
they could be like spying on us from a
I think we're
Galaxy
pretty.
away.
Who thinks we're advanced in?
Yes, we are advanced.
We
in
are
tech.
advanced
But
in
if they evolved like 3 billion years before we did,
They're
then they'd
gonna
be
be more
way
advanced.
more advanced.
Oh, and Maya, you said that there was no air on the other planets, which is true.
But who says aliens need air?
Fishes.
Fishes, exactly.
Fishes don't
Hi.
They could be fish.
They could be fish aliens.
They need a salient. They need everything that they need. Many things that we do need.
How would you
Such
know
as
that? You never found them.
not freezing temperatures and not boiling
You
temperatures.
don't know that.
You don't know
How would aliens come like alive in the first place?
How did we come alive in the first
The
place?
Big Bang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Evolution on Earth, and that how Earth was a perfect climate for life.
Yeah, exactly.
There-
They might need different climates than we do. They
There
might
is
not be able
other
to live
Earth-like
on
planets.
Earth.
It takes millions of years for them
Yeah,
to
and the universe has been alive for millions of years. Billions of years.
Yeah, but like I said, there's still a
All
chance that
years aren't the same. Like our years aren't the same as the universe's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, maybe there's another planet out there who does have our like years, and they've evolved. They've evolved the same as we have,
Or completely
or
differently.
completely differently, and are smarter, faster, stronger.
Or maybe they died.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that
And
they
then
didn't
other
exist.
things evolved. Also, as we're not the only species on our planet, there's tons of other species. There could be tons of other aliens apart from just one planet. They could have evolved just as we did.
Time's up.
Oh.
Does anybody have any questions?
What are your sources?
I got my information from a documentary on Netflix called Unacknowledged.
Netflix. Conspiracy theories.
I got mine from http://www.nbcnews.com/id/21find NBC News and TheGuardian.com.
I got my sources from Express.
And my head.
I got my sources from express.co.uk and my brain, which is part of the life, and
I
life's
got it
only
from
on
my
Earth.
brain too.
Life's only on Earth.
I got mine from NASA.
Yeah, see NASA.
Aliens exist.
Yeah.
How did you do this?
There's no evidence that they're hostile.
Yeah, we also are probably way more.
So, do you think that there could be like alien life that's actually like not as advanced as us, and that we get to go there instead of them? Because like all the movies they were saying like
It depends on where it is. It could be in a different galaxy, which we're not advanced enough to
But,
go there.
Yeah.
but there's no proof of this.
But there's no proof that they don't exist.
Yeah.
If something can create a flying saucer, it must mean it's very smart. Something like a human.
like a frisbee.
And if there's something human out there, wouldn't there be something else on Earth that's smart?
Fine, so
Only what?
Wait, who are you asking that for?
there.
Wait, can you re-say your question? I didn't get it.
If something can create a flying saucer, it must mean it's very smart. Something like a human. And wouldn't there be something human? If there's something that smart out there, wouldn't there be something that's smart here?
Maybe they
There's
evolved.
humans
Maybe
here.
maybe they evolved billions of years before us, so they had more time to evolve and develop more technology.
So
No, but like-
why wouldn't they
But how
found
can you
us?
prove that?
Because they're still evolving.
or found our planet first.
Yeah. So you said that there's like a huge universe.
Yeah.
But do you believe that if there are aliens, do you think that there will be, people will find some in our solar system?
I doubt in our solar system, but probably
Yeah.
way farther away. Considering that we've already explored our solar
That
system.
would take, if Neptune is 8 years flying, that'd take 80 years.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean they're not
Exactly.
Okay. Peter, you keep on saying there's no proof, there's no proof. Yes, no proof.
But we just listed proof.
Listed up that's not true.
Here on
Yes, most of those facts are
So NASA's rover has found a rock with evidence of salt water inside it. Do you guys believe that that could be evidence for past bacteria living on Mars?
Yeah.
Could be.
It's just salt water. It's just simple enough.
be
There's
Mars
salt in
fish.
the universe and there's water in the universe. Salt water. Wow.
Salt water in our ocean.
Yeah.
Exactly. Our ocean has fish in it.
Fish. Any fish live in rocks. Mars
Rock animals.
Listen up.
You guys said that fish don't need air.
They need oxygen.
Fish are weird.
That was a bad one.
Yes.
But they were inside water.
Does anyone have any questions? Any more?
They need less air than we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're smaller.
Well, even if it wasn't alien,